Hello, greetings and welcome back to the pod. I'm surprised anybody's joined me after the last video, to be perfectly honest with you, but thank you very much for coming back and seeing what we're up to. A brief explanation about the pod. The Pit of Doom. Okay, when I first moved into the bungalow, this was actually the old garage. It was dark, it was red brick, it was breeze block on one side. All the gas and electric meters, etc. There was no windows, there was no door that's behind the camera, there was just the up and over door behind me, which is now sealed up, and I named it the Pit of Doom. Since then my son's done it all up for me, and I've now got a lovely bright room. I've still only got one source of light, which is the door, but it's no longer really so dark and dismal as it was going to be. So that's why it's called the pod, the Pit of Doom. So that's that. Okay, what are we up to? Well, as you'd have seen from the intro, changes. Changes are as good as a rest, and there's going to be quite a few to show you. So let's get on and show you exactly what we're up to here again now in the pod. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you at the end. Cheers now. Okay, let me show you around the pod. Right, okay, so we now have some of the guitars back out. I've still got a couple more indoors, but the other bass and an acoustic indoors. So let's start from here. This is where the branch terminus is going to start, right where the door was. So the branch terminus is going to start here, run around. The back seam's still just loose there at the moment, so I've just got to sort that out later on. Then it will come around, and I've actually built the new traverser. So the traverser, or a swivelling sector plate it is, not a traverser, swivelling sector plate. That will come around there. That will give me 5 roads, maybe even 6 on the actual sector plate, and then here there's going to be a couple of roads going off at that point there, and probably 2 more roads coming off down here. So I'll have a little short head shunts there where I can put stuff back into those sidings there, because the back seam will come across around about there somewhere. So there we go. So we're looking quite good. It's getting neat and tidy now, and the board across the end wall, that's the one that was standing up in the last video that had the harbour and that sort of thing. I've cut it down to 1 foot wide, and I've put a hinge in the middle, so that will now fold in half and give me 3.5 foot by 2 foot, which is small enough to go into the boot of a car. And so I'm going to put a layout on there which will be 7 foot by 1 foot, so that'll be another little layout to go onto there later on. And then once that one's sold, I'll do another one similar sort of thing, so I can use some of my modern image stock on there. And in case you're wondering what happened to all the wood that was underneath, I've had a tidy up, and it's now in neat piles, and I know roughly what size and thicknesses I've got. So there we go. So we'll move on and show a bit more later on. So we're getting there. Okay folks, so phase 2 I suppose now. Phase 1 was doing a rough drawing on the paper, as I always do, and now phase 2 I'm working around. So the blue boxes are representing embankment, so I know roughly where I am with that. The little cottages down there, and there will be hopefully a split in the track down the bottom there, and then we move around to the station area, and station building roughly there along the back. The blocks of wood there. See, I never throw anything away. I always use blocks of wood for this, that and the other. So they're representing a little provender store and loading dock. The coal road is to the foreground, and the white block there represents what will probably be the cattle dock, and then the platform along the back, and the two buffers will come to a head shunt behind a road that's going to be raised. Now this is where it gets interesting. The CDs are representing what I'm hoping is going to be a dockside, little harbour, and then we've got the little chapel, and then the road is going to come up around here and then turn right in front of the pub and the cottages there. And as you can see again, blocks of wood representing different levels, so I can get some idea of how it's going to look when I come in the door. So coming in the door, we'll be looking through the bit of roadway there. There'll be a garden for this cottage here, and then coming on down, and obviously a footpath or something along above the dock probably, or the harbour wall, and just behind where the silver part of the tape measure is, that's going to be the station car park. So the road will come into here for the car park, and the platform will obviously be there. So that's the plan with that. And then looking down the line, so the line diverges off to, on Bodmin that would have gone down to Wentford Bridge, but obviously this isn't Bodmin, but it's just a play on the track plan really. So using the same track plan, but for its own purposes for me on here. So there we go. So that's the buildings in situ there, so I can get some idea of what I'm looking for. Better go and start laying some track, I suppose. I'll cut the platform first. I've got what was the old curved platform, so I can now use that again to make the platform for along the back. Let's go and do some work. And so 10 minutes later, we've now got the skeleton of the platform cut and in position. Car park, as you can see, will go there. Station entrance will be about here somewhere. Platform along there. And then from this side of the station building, I've got to reinstate that grass embankment. But when I made that, that all came back off in one piece. So I can cut that to length and put on whichever piece I need that's going to fit along the back of there behind the station fencing. Looking good. So the two main bits of baseboard just cut there now. We can see that the road is going to be on this level up here, and then it will drop downhill and down again here, so it'll be level with where the harbour is going to be, or the top of the harbour. Chapel there next to the harbour, and the cottages staggered up on the hill there, and then the entrance to the car park around the back of there, and then the buffers are up against that walling there, and that would be a bit like Bodmin General. Ha 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 ha! Quick jobby with a jigsaw. Ha ha ha! In actual fact, I've just cut the harbour out, so we're ready now to start putting the base in for the harbour, and then the wall around and that sort of thing. But the next job will be to fit the station area and the platform. So we're going to get on and do that over the next few days and see how we go. Right, I've just screwed the two platform sections in place now from underneath, and so we've got the platform and the corner section that will support the village, and there we go. So that's the first bit done there. So I've now cut some old plastic card to give a nice smooth roadway coming down over, and the entrance there into the station car park, and coming up between the cottages there. They're on 3 different levels, the pub and the 2 cottages, and then the little chapel down in there, and then there'll be a wall in front of that, and then down towards the harbour there, and then this road will carry on along the front and come off the edge of the baseboard. That's the plan anyway. Right, let's put some paint on it now and get it a grey colour. Right, several pots of paint. We've got a black, we've got a grey, we've got a magnolia and another grey, and I've made a start doing the platform. So the platform is several different colours so that you don't get one uniform colour. And then the road going up around. The road's going to take several coats, I think, because that yellow plastic card is a bit bright. So we're going to have to do several coats on the road. It's still wet at the moment, so obviously we've got a shine coming down from the lights above. But there we go, so that's the start on the road. I'm going to do the yard in the same colour grey, so that even once it's ballasted in areas, any grey will show through rather than the brown wood or the white masking tape covering up all the holes from previous projects. Right, onward and upward. So that's the first coat on the yard and the road and the platform. Another quick offer up whilst the paint's still drying and before going for lunch. Yes, that's going to look quite good actually. Yeah, looking down through the old high street, there'll be a wall on the right in front of this cottage here, and then it will step down in front of the pub, and that should look quite good. Yeah, liking it. There we go, folks. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks once again for sticking with me, and I hope that you'll continue to watch what I'm up to in here, and hopefully next week I can start putting some edging along the front of the platform and the brick walling on there, and maybe even start getting some track laid. But that's the job for the next few days, so we'll get on with that and put that on video for the next time. And it won't be long before we've got some trains running. But in the meantime, I hope you'll join me again. Thanks once again for watching. Happy modelling, stay safe, and I'll catch you again in the next video, all being well. Cheers now, bye.